Hey everyone. So the other day I posted that I was going to be blending soap, and I just wanted to kind of give you some information about my soaping process and what it is and all of those things. Because someone asked me at the vending event that I was at this past weekend, a couple people actually asked me about soaping and how long does it take me, and all of the things that it takes to make soap. Now, first, there are different types of soap. So I personally make liquid soap, and I also make bar soaps. Now, when you think about making soaps, you using different ingredients. So everyone who makes soaps use different ingredients. There, I would say, four types of soap. So you have a cold process soap, you have a hot process soap, you have a melt and pour soap, and you have a liquid soap. I use hot process, and I also make liquid soap. Well, I don't use hot process. I use the hot process method to make my bar soap, and I also make liquid soap. Now, the differences between those are the look of the soap. When you do cold press process soap, those soaps are going to be the ones with the colors and the shapes and things like that. Those usually take weeks to cure, okay? Meaning that they aren't ready to use until after 2, 3, 4 weeks, depending on, I guess, the ingredients that you add to it. I learned how to do cold process soap. However, I don't have the strength to wait 2 to 3 weeks before I can use my soap. So I started doing hot process, which is I created my own formula to create my hot process soap, which usually only takes me about 24 hours. And the look is not as pretty as a cold process soap. Now, the melt and pour is where I started. If you're interested in learning about soaping, I would say start with a melt and pour because it allows you to get familiar with ingredients, like things that you want to use in your soap. So if you're going to use fragrance oil, if you're going to use herbs, if you're going to use essential oils, melt and pour is probably the least expensive way to practice making soap. During my learning journey of the hot process method, I made lots of mistakes. I wasted a lot of product. So, and I just start with the melt and pour method, which uses sometimes it's glycerin based, but now they have so many different options for a melt and pour. So you can get shea butter, you can get, all different types of bases for a melt and pour. So then with a liquid soap, it is a totally different process, and I have made many mistakes with with the liquid soap making as well. So I would say anyone who's interested in learning about soap making, start with a melt and pour, because it is the least expensive way for you to practice, and it'll show you if you want to continue with soaping, because it's not an easy practice either. It does take time. It is going to take funds, so you're going to have to buy products. You're going to have to buy materials, but that's going to let you know if it's something that you actually want to do.